Hello, hello, hello. Good evening. Welcome. Welcome, every single one. Welcome, one and all, to another show, another day. It's so good to be back on here with you guys. Something's wrong with my eye. I don't know what's going on. My eye is like bothering me for some strange reason. I think it's an old mascara. I probably put in my eye. I don't know. Welcome, one and all. Welcome to the show. It's good to have you guys tune in right about now. This is Jael Joseph Live, and on this episode, we're going to be talking to Project Discovery Dominica. I'm excited to hear a little bit about them and what they do and how you can be part of them and all sorts of all the good stuff. All of the good stuff. Welcome to those of you who are just logging on. It's good to have you on here with me. We just hit 68,000, folks. We just hit 68,000 on here, like literally like a few seconds ago. So big up to all 68,000 of you. All right. Thank you very much for subscribing, for following, for liking, for sharing. I appreciate you guys immensely. I want to say welcome to the folks who are on YouTube. If you are on YouTube, good evening, welcome aboard the show. A lot of my shows, I'm going to be moving them across to YouTube, and we're going to talk a little bit about that at some point when I woke up the courage to come on here and share with you. But I want to encourage you, if you've not followed me on YouTube, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on the action. Because who knows, you might not be there, and I go over to YouTube to do a show, and you miss out on everything. In the meantime, in between time, share the live, share the live, share the live. We're going to be talking to some young people. Well, not all of them young. One of them thinks she's young. But for the most part, we're going to be talking to some. She's laughing. She's laughing. I know who I can say them things to. Not everybody me. Just doesn't say. But no kind of young. I don't want any kind of young. We're going to be talking to some young people about the new one of the newest initiatives. It's been around for a little while, but we're going to talk to them a little bit and find out a little bit about the organization and how you can be part of it. All right. Thank you, Miranda. Thank you, Aurelie. Thank you guys for joining in. If you're just joining in, share the live, 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 share the live. I can't say enough. Share the live. All right. We're going to just welcome them. I don't want to waste their time, waste your time. I want to get them on the show so we can have our full time to talk to them. Lots of questions I personally want to know about the show. Listen, I'm going in without I know nothing, right? So you and I on the same page. If you don't know nothing, we're going to find out about them and we're going to know, what's going on and how we can be part of what they're doing. So I want to welcome to the show the first person who is the chairperson for Project Discovery Dominica. I want to welcome Beverly LeBlanc. Hi, Bev.
Hi, Shelly.
You are the young one. You don't think you're young.
I am as young as I feel, and I will always be young.
Of course,
Youthfulness is a gift that God gave me, and I'm embracing it.
Wow, so jeunesse.
Moi, c'est en jeunesse.
Mommy would have said you all in your face and hand in your waist. Show me how you're young. That is not the case. That is definitely not the case. You're beautiful. You're fearful and lovely, and I appreciate you. You're always such a good sport, and I'm so happy to have you on the show with me here this evening.
Thank you.
And we're bringing in the rest of the gang who's also here. I want to welcome the president, Cameron. Hi, Cameron.
Hi, everyone.
How are you?
Doing you?
I am doing well. I'm doing well. It's good to have you. It's good to have you on the show.
It's good to be here.
I want to welcome Raquel, who is the treasurer. Hi, Raquel.
Good night.
Bonsoir.
La café.
Moi là et où?
Moi là.
Ok, au son Jean-Pelville. Mon tante. Au son Jean-Pelville. I take it. Yes. Are you Jean-Pelville or just say nonsense?
Yes, I can tell you.
You see? I felt it. The energy was there. The energy was given. And lastly, we have the communications officer, who I think I'll be grilling the most. Jael joins us. Hello.
Hello, good night.
I give you so much energy and you're giving me hella good
I
night.
know, right?
What's up with that? Like, you know how much cereal
Hello,
I had to eat
everybody.
in my life? Hmm? I had to eat all my cereal, my fiber, and all kind of thing, you know. Welcome, guys. Welcome to every single one of you. It's good to have you guys join us for the first time. I know a lot of folks are coming in. I want to encourage them to share the live, share the live, share the live, share the live. Pleasant good evening to you, Glenda and Adele Brady. Good evening. Welcome to the show, guys. Share the live as soon as you hop on. We're going to be talking to the folks, these beautiful individuals, and they're going to share a little bit about what they're doing. And I always say it's important for folks to tune in to the show because knowledge is power. If you don't know, you can say you don't know. But if you know, right? And when we know, we like to take action. We like to do what is necessary to ensure that if we're supporting, if we're promoting, if we're representing any initiative, we're even advocating for any initiative. So we want to thank these four friend and a half beautiful young people. Beverly, Beverly, I had your case tonight.
I see that.
The 3.5 young people, the four young people who are joining us
Thank you very
here this
much.
evening. It's great to have you guys on with us on the show. I want to first of all start with you, Beverly, because I mean, we have such a long relationship. I've known you since I was a little girl. I've known you practically all my life. That is why I can say, all you don't have me untidy when you come on and say, oh, Jael can fish, you can talk to the
We
people.
have our business going on.
Like we have all business going on. Like I've known her all of my life since I was a little girl. So sometimes I just dim away my patchy and think I can see what I want. But I have to respect my elders. But Beverly, it is so good to have you on the show with me. Here you're representing Project Discovery,
Discovery,
Dominica. And
Dominica.
can you tell us a little bit about what is Project Discovery, Dominica? What is this initiative?
Okay. Project Discovery. I would just look at it as you discovering yourself because we are projects. As much as we don't want to think of ourselves as projects, we are projects always on discovery. So most time when I heard the term project discovery and really started and I read upon it and what it entails, I realized that it is really a journey of discovering the most important project, which is ourselves. So it is really, and it is an initiative, it's a non-profit company, and it really started in Barbados. It was established in Barbados. And basically, the whole idea of it was to get young people to discover who they are away from the classroom. There's a difference between schooling and education. Schooling has a lifespan, has a set time. Education is a lifelong journey. And as you are educated, as you're going through that journey, you are discovering things about yourself. So, project discovery is just you discovering yourself through experiences, through network, through partnership. You're learning informally, formally through your experiences. So, whole project discovery is really a regional initiative established in Barbados, and Dominica really was the last country which really established a chapter. And so we are the youngest in the group, Dominica, but we are on a journey to help the young people discover who they are and then to make a difference in the lives of young people and in the lives of a nation. In summary, that's what it is all about.
Why is it important? Like, why do you feel like it's important to have an initiative like this? Because I mean, somebody might be saying, "Oh, they just want to form a group so that young people can come and talk and run them off among each other." And whatnot. Why did you feel? I mean, I'm saying this loosely because I kind of understand how we operate in the Caribbean. A huge part of becoming a young person is how well you do in school. Like, if you're not doing well in school, you're a vegatiwas. Period.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's how we look at young people, at least in the Caribbean, at least in Dominica. If you're disruptive in class, you are problematic. Nobody likes you. The teachers don't like you. They want you to stay at your home. You're constantly in the office. Gone are the days when they used to give you the nice little cane. They doesn't really do that. Although I hear that some schools still do it.
Yeah.
But you get your nice little cane. And then when they finish Kenya, they call your parents, and your parents come and they drag you all the way home. This is what we've grown up to understand. You would join a youth group, you would join different youth initiatives, but there's always adults hovering, ready to scold you, waiting to tell you you have done wrong, you going the wrong way, and you need to be a straight jacket because you're trying to get to university, and there's all of this part of getting you to university so you can become the next lawyer, doctor, or pharmacist or engineer. Why did you feel like this is important?
Project Discovery is actually doing the reverse. You see all these behaviors, you're talking too much, you're not a straight jacket. This is what schooling does. It puts you in a straight jacket, it puts you in a box. And that's where you want to be, and you do not know. You almost say that's what I can be, and I can't be anything else. With Project Discovery, it does the opposite. Remember, I said there's a difference between education and schooling.
So you
So
so you unschooling people then you say.
it's not a matter of it goes hand in hand. But
Mm,
even while you may be having challenges with your schooling, you are looking at the challenges that you are facing, and Project Discovery is actually providing that level of mentorship. So the whole idea, and that is why it is youth led, and I will leave the others to talk more about it. But
mhm,
when I got the document, because a friend of mine, actually a colleague of mine, sent the information for me because the regional director wanted to have a chapter in Dominica. And through my network, somebody reached out to me. And from the time I saw the document, I said, we need to have one in Dominica. As an educator, I realized we were just teaching our children, giving them knowledge. We were using the banking system of education. I give you information, you give it back to me on a test. But we were not preparing them for life. We were not giving them the planks on the bridge. We were not giving them the life skills, learning to make decisions, critical thinking, cooperation, collaboration, all the 21st century skills. And this was actually bothering me as an educator because I realized we were so restricted in what we were giving our students. And so when I read it up, I realized, this is something we need. It is almost replacing, I'm not sure if you did it when you were going to high school, Jail, when we did civics, being good citizens. So it is always kind of filling the gap that we know they will not get in the regular classroom. So, for example, when you leave school in fifth form, you want a job, but the business owner wants you to have 10 years experience, 5 years experience. When the only experience you have is writing tests and doing assignments, that's the only experience you have.
mhm.
But Project Discovery now, when these young people are involved in Project Discovery, they learn to be, we have the president, you have to learn the role of a president. You have to learn to lead. You have communication. We have a communication officer. You have to learn how to do PR, how to do announcements. Then we have the treasurer. You have to learn accounting. You have the secretary. So the roles that they hold in Project Discovery will give them the experience. So it's like an under job. So they have a CV already prepared for them from Project Discovery that they can present to the, yes, I just left school at from fifth form. I may be 16 years, I may be 20 years, but I've been involved in Project Discovery and I've learned all these things. I've learned to problem solving, I've learned leadership, I have a level of emotional intelligence, I learn how to regulate. So they have the experience that the job is asking for, which they would have learned through Project Discovery.
I like that you're I like that you're talking about this, and I like that you've brought this up, and I like what you guys are doing, and I'll tell you why I like it. As somebody who's gone to school in the Caribbean and also gone to school in Canada, but I've also taught in Canada. And one of the things that I've noted that is somewhere that we're lacking. So Caribbean students will go to university with the intent on getting great grades to end with a high GPA so they can possibly return to their country, or if they decide to integrate into the new country, get a high paying job so they can support their family, probably pay back their student loan and XYZ. And they come into this space, when I say the space, but the North American space or the university space, and they're very awkward in terms of socially, their social skills are very much not there. And I've experienced that as an educator, teaching at a university, teaching third year students and having international students who are in my class. And let me tell you, when I have international students in my class, I literally breastfeed them because I feel like these are my people, regardless of what part of the world they come out. I feel like okay, you because we have so much going against us when we're in this big outside world. So I try to treat them with a lot of grace, and because I understand the cultural differences, I understand the various nuances. Sometimes they don't have enough money. Sometimes it's so many things you're going through while you're trying to navigate university and end with really good grades, and then seeing how they respond to questions in class versus North American students who are you can bring up any topic and they even if they don't know about it, but they can offer something to it. And then seeing international students being like, well, I don't really know nothing about that, or I don't know, like you're not even trying to attempt to answer the question. And I find that a lot with international students, and I've been doing this for 3 years. And every single time I've had international students, this is something that I found. Whether or not they're missing that je ne sais quoi, where they can stand up. And I remember me and Tamara Lowe, to be exact, we were talking about this a little while ago, how different it is when we move in spaces where there are, because nous sommes, we are people that have a lot of la power. We like to talk. We feel like we're learned. We read and stuff. And we find that when we move in these spaces, people are always so surprised at how much we know and how we can carry conversations. And a lot of it comes with, the fact that we're not really given these opportunities per se when you're in school. I always got talkative, talks too much, like great student talks too much, right? But not one single teacher ever said, well, because you're talking so much, we need to find something that can utilize your talking skills, right? No one teacher said, okay, let us utilize you in that way because you seem to have additional energy. It was always a problem. My talking too much, which is what is making me money today. Thank God for my parents, was always a problem, right? So I like the fact that you're talking about this, and I might be off track, and if I'm off track, put me back on track. In terms of what this organization does, and I feel like that is something that is lacking tremendously in our school systems. Like I have a 13-year-old son, and most people are really surprised at how well he speaks, and that's because we engage him and we keep his mind, and we don't when we have in conversations, we don't say, that is adult conversation. Obviously, there's some things that you cannot be part of. However, if we're having a conversation, we're not going to shut you up. We want to hear what your views are. What do you think about this? How do you see things? How are your fellow classmates talking about these things? And sometimes these fellow classmates are not talking about it because their parents are probably telling them, be quiet over there, that's not your conversation. So Beverly, like I really want to say, it's a little too it's late coming in, but it's better late than never. And I feel like based on what I've read, on the organization, and I might have read it wrong, and if I read it wrong, like reel me back in, you know, um, that it seems that it is an organization that really helps to produce well-rounded individuals that when you leave, whether you leave school or whether you're navigating universities or whether you're meeting in different organizations or you're going out for a job, that you're able to have certain skills or acquire certain skills that will take you along the way. And I'm rambling, but I want to kind of come back to you and kind of find out before I bring in the young people, because I know this is about them, but I have specific questions for you all. Okay, young people. Um, in terms of project discovery, how could you explain the distinction project discovery gives or makes between schooling and true education? Because you say it's not about schooling, it's not about just like what is really the true distinction?
Okay, I'm going to just speak from my experience with the young people since I have been the chairperson of Project Discovery Dominica. And my role is to mentor them. And I know sometimes, and they will tell you sometimes, I really get hard, tough on them. Even with me myself, I am learning that, okay, they are not where you are yet. So you have to be patient. So I am going to pull out, I'm not being, not with any bias, but because she's the closest person to me in Project Discovery. So we have Raquel. Let me show you this. Raquel is a very bright student, very, very bright student, academic. So when we start, and we have Cameron, Cameron is in a whole different ball game by himself. Now Cameron, I'll start with Cameron. Cameron was my baby in terms of coming from Achievement Learning Center. That's my proud product.
Mm-hmm.
Look where he's at now, right? The president of Project Discovery. But the experience he had in Achievement Learning Center carried him. Raquel, on the other hand, she was just book. But when she got into Project Discovery, and when we started Project Discovery, we were also hosting CariFed, which is another program. And then they had to do interviews. And during the interview, she realized, wow, I love journalism. She discovered something about herself that she did not know existed. Now, if she had just stayed, going to college, do her electrical engineering and get her 4.0 GP and whatever, that is all she would know about herself. But she discovered another field that she can explore. And then we had to plan for CariFed. And then she realized, oh yeah, I can lead a group. And then I can negotiate. So when we had to plan for the trip and we decide, okay, this is the amount of money we have to spend for the bus. They did the negotiation and I was at the back end them negotiating, no, that is what we can pay you and that is how much we have. They would have never learned that had they not been part of Project Discovery. So this is the difference. It's I'm talking about. The schooling, you have the education, which is important.
Mm-hmm.
But the education is for your experience. So what it is doing, it is allowing them to tap into hidden gifts and talents that they have that they would have never discovered. They learn to network. They learn to write projects, come up with solutions, address issues. These are the opportunities that Project Discovery is have presented to them. And I have seen it firsthand how they have grown.
Wow. I want to start with Cameron. Cameron, because we started this. I give Beverly all of her accolades and all of that. So let us get to know a little bit about you. She talks about you as being one of her babies, at Achievement Learning Center. So introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about who you are. What's your role as the president, and what are some of the things that you're involved in the organization?
Okay, hi everyone. I'm kind of Agustin. I am the president of Project Discovery Dominica. Okay, so with me, like Mr. Bass said, I started off at the Achievement Learning Center, and I know I have a job. Thanks to Miss Libra. Got a lot to do in my life basically, and helped me along the way. Wasn't for I wouldn't be where I am today. Thank God. And again, now I am the president of Project Discovery Dominica. So I am the leader, and I help. We have to work on together to put events together, hands on. Like for example, CariFed. We had to come together. I mean, we had to see back guidance, but everything was 100% youth led. So we put all this stuff together, hands on. We had to negotiate. Find out. We had CariFed at PSU, as in Portsmouth. So for the course of secondary school, and we had to send in our letter asking if they would be available for such and such and such, and all this stuff, and getting our people, putting all this stuff together, a lot of logistics, the food and everything was handled. It was first time doing something like that, so that was a really good experience for me
You say
personally.
really good. You say really good. Was it just really good, or was it nerve-wracking as well? Be
It was
honest.
nothing because I mean the first time I did it, I went to Trinidad, Caribbean. That was my said last year was my second game. The first time I did it, I went to Trinidad, and I mean I had to do nothing much except go around the places, write down what I'm seeing, and I to go different parts of Trinidad, point 14, like where all the oil and all this. I went to the zoo and just immersing yourself in culture, get to know different people around Caribbean, I realized, hey, we aren't so different after all. I went to but I can't remember the name. It's Barute. No, that's in
Baranaute?
Dominica. My apologies, that's in Dominica. Where was he? Where is the patois in Trinidad?
Okay, I
Anyways,
don't know.
it's the name they're not coming right now, but let's say they make like almost 60% of Trinidad like seasonings there. That's why it's like on a mountain.
Hmm.
Kind of isolated, and I go in there and these people speaking patois. I don't understand everybody, but I understand one, two things. I'm like, oh, I can understand them. I'm like, I'm expecting to trade that, and then you kind of look at the history, like, okay, that explains a lot. And you just network and you meet new people all over the Caribbean, Asians, people from St. Kitts, I have a good friend from St. Kitts and Barbados and Trinidad, and all these other people. So for me, that was a good experience again.
Well, thank you very much for sharing that with us, Cameron. Raquel, how about yourself? Tell us a little bit about you, Treasurer, Miss Treasurer, and what you're involved in, and so far, what are some of the things you've learned while being in Project Discovery?
Okay, so good night. My name is Raquel Libra. I am currently the Secretary Treasurer of Project Discovery Dominica. I am currently a second year student at the Dominica State College studying electrical engineering, as Auntie rightly said. So, what I have learned about while at Project Discovery, how to do financial statements, because I am a science student, not a accounts or business student. So I had to learn all of these for a crash course, basically. Also, how to do interviews, how to prepare for presentation, all of this.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Raquel. And Gio.
Good night. My name is Jayudna Desir, but as of August of 2024, my name has turned to Geo, and I am the communications officer for Project Discovery Dominica. From since I was a little girl, I knew I always wanted to talk a lot. So I was always into public speaking and debate. So when I heard about Project Discovery, I was very interested because I read about the organization and I realized that they did decompartmentalize learning. And I was like, this is something that I can be a part of. So I joined and I became the communications officer. I thought it was just about, talking a lot, doing interviews, getting to meet people, but it is so much more than that. And along the journey, I have learned so much, not just about communication on a whole, but about social media, mass communication. So it's like Raquel said, it's a crash course. You learn as you go, and it has been very great for me.
Wonderful. That's wonderful to hear from all of you. Beverly, as the chairperson, what are some of your primary responsibilities, and how do you guide the organization's vision?
Okay, my primary responsibility is to provide mentorship for the young people. It is a youth led, and whereas I know it is a youth led, but as you rightly said, I do understand the culture. This is very new to our young people. And one of the things I always tell them, I do not want any celebrity executive. We have too many youth groups who just have celebrities. They just have the name and they don't do work. And we have to see results. And because of the goal and the mission of Project Discovery, one of the things that maybe Gio will mention, they have five or four pillars, and one of them is carry fed. We have research, we have students, we have C's. Gio will talk a little bit more about it. So my role is to create an enabling environment for them to grow. So as I
Mm.
sometimes I do get hard on them, I'm like, okay, guys, you president, you have to do what you need to do, and treasurer, and I pull it out of them because it is not something that they used to. There's always this tendency to be laid back, but my role right now is to transition them to the place where when there's a project, they will be managing the project. So right now, the task is now to prepare the annual plan, which was part of a leadership training. So they just completed the leadership training program. And their role, they had to do the annual plan because you need to give us a plan. You have to give the advisory board your plan, what it is you want to do, what are the activities, what are the timelines, how you're going to know you meet it. So they have their annual plan that they're supposed to submit this weekend to the advisory board. And then we will review it, and then we will say, okay, let us endorse it, let's go, provide the guidance. Opportunities. I provide opportunities for networking. So when there's an idea comes, I'm like, guys, I was thinking about, what do you think? Then you need to go and discuss it with your team and say, okay, I think this is going to be a good idea. So I provide that level of guidance and mentorship and allow them. So when I throw it in the court, that's why GU says that it's a baptism by fire. Because if you don't push them, they're just going to lay back. And we have too many groups just being laid back. And then if Project Discovery have already created that enabling environment for you, you have to grow. So I just have to keep fanning them and putting the wood underneath the fire for them to let them know, keep them hot so they don't get stale. But at the same time, helping them to grow, because they have the potential to grow, and I do not want them to just be laid back, because we have a leadership crisis. And if we do not train them to be leaders, it is just going to be like a recurring decimal. So we now have to train a new set of leaders with new mindsets, not just having a leadership and I have this position and then you have nothing to show. You have to be impactful. You have to show results. So this is basically my role as the chairperson, to provide the guidance for them, to take them with me. So when, for example, we now have a membership drive, okay, yes, this is, I give you the contact, you work with the person, find out, you do the negotiation. So I get the contact for them, but then they do the negotiation and I just guide them, just to be there as a moral support. And I can tell you, I have been seeing them growing. So for even like for tonight, once we got the go ahead, tonight was to be on Jael, Jael Joseph Live. Geo, take it over. That's not my role. My role, you're the communication officer. I open the door for you, walk in and make sure you decorate the room. That kind of a thing. So that's what I do. I help them, I mold them, mentor them, coach them, and let them know that we are there for them. You're going to fall, but we will lift you up, wipe you up, and then get going again.
Glenda is saying this is a great initiative towards education. So you're getting some feedback here from
Thank
people who
you.
are doing it live. My question now is for Cameron. How do you foster collaboration and engagement among the members and even the chapters of Project Discovery?
Okay, so we hold meetings. We try to hold a meeting at least once or twice. Most of the time it's like once a month, and we come together and say, hey, this is what I see. This is what I want to do. Like for example, we had people entering machine recently, and we want to do something in that, and so that's something we want to add to, you could say, our curriculum, and keep doing that every year.
Mm,
And discuss it, and we bring it forward with everybody. And we go from there. And
thank you
you know
very much.
about the other chapters as well, you said?
Say that again?
What do you know about the other chapters as well?
Yes, yes. So
Okay,
how do you
well, the other ones we have groups, and there's some of them are inclusive, so we do keep in touch because we do like to do, like if they're doing this, we like to do like, I mean, we give it our own seasoning, like make it, local based, but we do follow each other in a sense. You could say.
okay, just to make sure that you are cohesive, so you know you're doing the same thing, almost like how the UN days work. So there's like the
Yeah.
Project Discovery days.
Yes, yes, you said.
Okay. Okay, got it, got it. Raquel, what are some of the strategies that you use to ensure that what you're doing has financial sustainability?
Okay, so what I do is budget properly with the aid of some of the advisory members because I am not a business student, as I said. So we have an advisory board with people in each of the different capacities. So we have a communication advisor and other advisors. So I have an advisor as a treasurer. She tells me how to budget properly, how to set funds aside, and how to bring it to life.
Okay. How do you guys as an organization raise funds? Because it's a not-profit organization. How would you and I'm positioning the questions to y'all and not to Beverly because Beverly says she lets you know you do it, so you should know the question answers. Right? How do y'all raise funds? I mean, you're a non-profit. Obviously, if you're working for a company, you're gonna get paid, right? As a president, as a treasurer. Who wants to respond? Cameron, you look like you want to answer.
I'll say half, and somebody else can take over and give the sponsor shout out
Go
as well.
ahead.
Right, like Miss Beverly Black said, we actually did a training for that. I did a training and is writing proposals. So we do write to different organizations that do collaborative youth and support youth. And somebody can take over now.
Raquel,
Also,
you want to continue since you're the money lady?
yes. So also, as part of our membership, we ask them for a small fee to provide to help build the organization. Also, we host leadership training, which come at a cost. Not a large fee, but a small fee, which can help keep us afloat.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for sharing that with us. Gio, as communications officer, I know you say as of 2024, your name became Gio. So we roll with it and call you, continue to call you Gio. How do you ensure that the mission and achievements of Project Discovery are effectively communicated to the public?
Okay, so like Raquel said, we each have advisors or mentors. So I work closely with the advisors. What I had to do was I realized trying to manage things on my own wasn't effective as I wanted it to be. So I created a communication team. For example, we have an Instagram account and a Facebook account, and there's also a website to be uploaded. So each person on this team has a specific task, whether it is to create stories, post on Facebook, Instagram, or create drafts to be uploaded on the website. So what I do is I try my best to delegate tasks, and if there is, let's say, any sort of graphic to be designed, I get this done. I designate people and I tell them, this is happening at said time, post it. For example, today we were going live and whole day I on Facebook Marco in your page, and I was like, as soon as she posts that, I have to forward it to the group. And then as soon as you post it, I was like, okay, so I started it forwarding it to the group chats and I was like, you all need to share this. I uploaded it to Facebook and I sent it to someone on my team and I told them, please send it to Instagram so that people can be aware of what is going on.
Okay, okay, Gio Marco in my page. Okay, okay. Um, I want to go back to Raquel. Tell me about how you manage your some of your resources.
Okay, so currently we are doing a membership drive. This is sponsored by the Maria Holder Foundation, where we go out to recruit members to help build our organization.
So tell me how many members you have currently. First question: who is the Maria, whatever you said, foundation? Because for some of people they might not know. They might be like, "Who's that person?" And then tell me what is your ultimate goal in terms of membership.
Okay, so currently we have 15 members, including ourselves.
Okay.
Our ultimate goal is to have at least 50 members by the end of the year.
Wow. Wow. And who is Maria? What you said? You said Maria something something.
Okay, it's Maria Holder Memorial Trust Fund.
Okay.
And so this is basically when we did Carry Fed, we seek for sponsorship because we wanted to have a culinary arts training.
Mm-hmm.
Because the people, the culinary team had to prepare the meals. So when there was some money left over, so obviously I figured, okay, how can we use the money? You're gonna send all that money back to Barbados. So again, I presented it to the executive. I said, okay, we have this money. What can we do with it? So
Mm-hmm.
then we did a leadership training, and I can see the impact of the leadership training because I'm listening to them speak and I'm listening to the questions that you were asking him, which was some of the questions that they would ask while they were doing the leadership training by the facilitators. I'm like, somehow Jael was like a little mosquito on the wall, and they really answered the questions properly. So we use it for leadership training, and we also use it for membership drive. So the Maria Memorial Holder Trust Fund is actually funding what we are doing right now, which is part of our membership drive and bringing the awareness of what Project Discovery is all about. So this is we're managing that fund. And
Okay.
one of the things probably Raquel, she did mention we want to do is to, although they did the training as the executive, we now want to open up the training, and it would be like a fundraising activity for other youth clubs would need leadership training at a very small fee, but that fee would go towards Project Discovery, because we do need money now, because CARIFED is going to be held in Barbados, and we want to send at least 2 or 3 representatives. So this is also one of the fundraising that they will do.
Wow. Tell me a little bit about in terms of being a member, what would it entail? Like if I wanted to join, what age do I have to be? And because somebody might be listening, they might be saying, "Boy, I'm ready to write CXC, and I'm gonna try and tie myself down with no kind of a thing." Next thing they want me to come and show up like 3 times a week, and they want this, that, and the third, and I have all my SBAs to do. Like what exactly does it entail being a member of Project Discovery?
Okay,
Cameron.
so
Go
okay,
ahead,
so
Raquel. By all means.
okay, so being a member of Project Discovery, you just help us plan, help us do the membership drives. You don't have to show up anywhere 3 times or 4 times a week. Mostly everything is online, as most of us are working adults and going to school. So everything is basically online.
What is the age range you
At
start?
age
Cameron.
range, I'll let Cameron answer.
Okay, so right now we looking at want to look maybe a little lower, but right now we're just going for, let's say, 16 to
15, 15.
25, 15 to 25 right now. But I still think we can extend it a bit. But the leadership positions will be somebody younger than, like in between, let's say, 15 to 20, around that. It's better to have a team. And
Okay. Okay. All right. That's really good to know. Comes lady Gio. Come forward. Um, how would you say digital communication and social media has played a role in expanding the reach of Project Discovery?
Well, for example, tonight we are on Jael Joseph Live. So this is a big milestone for us. And what it has done is that, for example, one of my mentors told me, Instagram is for young people, and Facebook is where you can get like sponsorship and you can get people that can endorse your brand. So trying to grow it is like I have to create plans on ways to market Project Discovery and not make it look like some boring after school program, because it is fun and it contains many different arms that, even if you're not interested in research or advocacy, you could be interested in community service. There's something for everyone. What social media does, it gives you ideas on how you can market to specific demographics and build awareness for your brand, which is Project Discovery.
Girl, you need to come in my content strategy class, man.
She
Well done,
was supposed to, because I
well
sent the flyer
done,
to her.
well done, well
Putting on the
done.
spot.
Well, I don't know. It's just something that I mean. You talking, and I'm like, girl. Yeah, well answered, well answered, and you are right about knowing where your audience is and being sure where to target who. Everything is not for everybody, right? And every platform is not necessarily who you're trying to target is actually present. So that's a very good observation that you made. In terms of community impact and different programs, what kinds of community service learning programs does Project Discovery offer to, for example, students? Beverly, we've gonna put you in the dark. We letting them answer.
I can start and let them finish.
Okay, go ahead.
The thing about the community service project, as I said, they this is our first official year as being launched, because we did two. Whereas with the other chapters, they had a project discovery chapter and then they hosted Carry Fair. We did both at the same time. So
Wow.
we hosted Carry Fair and then we launched Project Discovery Dominica. So in 2023, actually, when they had to go to Trinidad, we had no money. But then Dominica was every other all the country flags were on the flyer, and Dominica wasn't there. I'm like, Dominica has to be there. And then so you should see me walking up the steps in the Ministry of Youth trying to beg. And she said, but Beverly, I cannot send nine. I said, if you can't send nine, send three. But then we have to be there. So she said, okay, so what is it you're going to give me if we send three? I said, okay, if you send three, we will host Carry Fair 2024 and we will launch Project Discovery Dominica. So I opened my mouth. So I had to deliver. And then so we were working on these two activities at the same time. So for the entire 2024, they were involved in event planning. So because we had to plan the event, as Cameron said, we had to plan the event. We had to figure out, okay, we have to get the product cost. We have to get a place. We had to negotiate for PSS. I had to go up and down in PSS. Then we had to see the cheapest place, look for the transportation, the cheapest transportation. That was Geos and Raquel. You should have heard them negotiating for best price. And also, so we kind of tied everything. So now, although we have not really done any community service yet, but it is part of their planning. So that is why I say I'm going to begin, because they're supposed to have that in the annual plan. So I'm hoping that it is already there so they can tell you what it is that they plan. So we will do a lot of collaboration. So right now we are working with the schools. We are working with the schools to get the members on board. So this is basically almost our first community project going to the schools. So we have done PSS, we have done Northeastern Comprehensive, we are doing St. Martin's School. And if there are any principals or any teachers out there who wants the team to come to speak to their students, then they can come to do that, because it is a good opportunity for all students, particularly, as you said, Jael, the troublesome one. They may be troublesome, but if they get into that, it helps to develop discipline in them,
Mm-hmm.
because they're discovering something that they can do. So although there is not something concrete yet, they have it in their plan, and they can tell you what are some of the community service activities they have in their work plan for 2025 and beyond.
You ready for me, Gio? She kind of put you on the spot. You're the communications officer,
Yes.
yes? So that's your
Yes.
role.
Okay, so actually we did a sort of mini community service during CariFed. We were trying out something where we had like surplus. There was this time we served food and there was surplus, and I was like, if we are going to the beach, why not just stop? We have some bowls. Why not just stop along the way and do a food drive? And everybody was like, yeah, let's do that. And for me, that is a form of community service. It is about how you can help make your community a better place. So right now, what we're doing is research, because before you do a project, you have to research what does my community need, what can I do to benefit my community, because you do not want to provide a service that nobody is really looking for. So when we go through the schools now, let's say a school can say, well, we need to plant some trees in our schoolyard, and I know that pre-university students and college students, some of them need like 100 service hours to graduate. So with Project Discovery, when we identify these projects, we can create a link with Project Discovery and the schools to help provide students with their community service hours. So it's just a matter of you telling us what you need and us finding a way to make it happen. That is why we are called Project Discovery. We discover projects and we find ways to make it happen.
Michael, you talking well, we? I'm not gonna lie now. Like you are very, very well spoken. Like you speak, your words just flowing. You know what you're saying. I mean, not
Thank you.
putting the others in the dark by any for anything, but you're really in your role. They really give you the right role for yourself. You just do va right, Beverly. Do va.
Yes, yes, yes.
Share with us a little bit about you. You've been mentioning this carry fair that you guys have did. Tell us a little bit about that. What it entail. I know Cameron touched a little bit about it. What about him going to Trinidad? But if you could tell us a little bit more about what the project is about, because I didn't really get the sense of what exactly it entails.
Okay. Okay. So Carifed takes place every year. It's around summertime. It's held in a different Caribbean country each year. In 2023 was in Trinidad. Last year was in Dominica, and this is going to be in Barbados. So every year it has a different theme. Last year had to do with the environment and tourism. and the first thing you do when you reach in Caribbean, once you decide when you go in and you reach in the other country, you are put into a group of three, and you you come together, you learn to work with each other, and you work on that plan. Like I say, you want to work on the environment and tourism. That's your plan, and you put your thing together, and you have to pitch it in front of a panel of three other judges. But that doesn't happen instantly. So as Carifed goes on, they tell you in the beginning, they tell you what you're gonna do, and then in the end, like then you go and you pitch it basically, and or everything you learn and everywhere you go, you put that into it, and that's what it is. So when if you win the organization, Project Discovery will be like half of your Fed price for next year, and that's one of the things you can. It's beneficial. So you work hard for it. Unfortunately, I didn't win. I'm gonna share with you what my project was about. My project this year was about helping people that can't go on hikes and just want to explore. So it's like you would, let's see, record the hikes video. So it's like virtual, and it was like
Like
basically
a
that's
VR experience.
right. I thought we did enough to win my team, but we didn't. You know, so better luck
I
next
think
this
that's a really good idea to have like a VR experience. And that it's funny you say that, but that is something that I've been trying to pitch for to the Ministry of Tourism for them to do. Not necessarily for just heights, but just for events. Because some people want the actual experience like they're there,
right,
right?
right.
And having a VR experience is like you're there, you're feeling everything, you're just not touching it, but you're feeling all of the emotions that would come as if you were really there. So that is something that I feel is like super cool. And personally, I don't know why you didn't win. You know, I'm talking for you too.
But that's Raquel. Her team was the team that won. I mean, I felt wrong, but let's see that there. But yeah, that's what Carif is really about. So every year it's held in different much like I said, and each year is a different theme. So I'm not sure this year did they. I don't think they put out the theme for this year yet. But this year we had different.
It is
So
something on the blue economy.
okay, that's already out.
Raquel,
So
your turn.
Okay, so piggybacking on what Cameron was saying, CARIFED is a Caribbean Youth Forum on Environment and Development. It was held in Dominica last year, as he rightly said, on ecotourism. So I won the CARIFED challenge along with my teammates.
You won it.
Yes.
You put it in, and she's like, I want to tell you how I won.
Okay, so our this one. Our project was plastic discoveries. So what we did was recycled plastic to be used to make jewelry. Yeah, that is basically our plan, and we wrote a business plan, we explained everything. That is how we want, basically.
And so you pitch jewelry from plastic.
Yes,
Did you actually make any jewelry from plastic, or it was just a pitch?
it was just a pitch, but
Okay, okay. I don't know. No, I still feel like Cameron. I don't know. Probably because I am like very much in North America, and I just feel like you were like ahead of time. Like that is like a really cool idea because you could charge the same price for that kind of experience, the same price
Well,
as
it's
if
how
you.
they pitch it. How it was a good idea, but if you know business and understanding business, even if you have a good idea, Jael, and you didn't pitch it, it was not pitched enough to convince the
I can try
panel.
it for Cameron. Then
it's
I can
because
try
my price was too low. And now that I look back, it was too low. They said I put my
Exactly.
price
So
too low to
he
come.
had a
Yeah.
good
So
idea,
that's why I mixed
but
up.
he
That's
didn't pitch it enough to convince the panel. So
it.
yeah.
Well, Cameron, I like your idea. I mean, not that I didn't like your idea, right? I just feel like, yeah, I get the whole plastic thing, and I know,
and
Dominica.
I mean, his idea was basically fitting with the theme because the theme had to do with ecotourism, and
Right.
so. But at the end of the day, it's not the idea. Did you
The
sell it?
pitch
You're talking
is the
about
pitch.
persuasion. That was
Yes,
you didn't persuade them enough. If you were not comfortable in your pitch, how are you going to let the panel be comfortable in your pitch? So
yeah, that's
don't blame the panel, blame yourself.
true. Okay, Cameron, Cameron. Okay, Cameron. Okay, continuing the questions. Um, I want to talk a little bit about the membership drive because that is super important. How can somebody become a member and some of the different things that would go along with that? So, you spoke about how it benefits young people. You've spoken about, the age range of the participants. How can somebody get involved and become a member with the organization?
Okay,
Gio?
so
Oh, you, I
I'll
want
come.
you. I like to hear Gio talk. And she
Okay,
just rest back. She does just come out from her shell, she talking. But she rest back as if she I want to hear Gio. Gio start and Raquel, you'll finish.
Okay, so if you do want to become a member, we have a Facebook page, Instagram page. You can always send us a message there. And also we are visiting schools. So if you hear there is announcement that Project Discovery is coming to your school, for example, hopefully later this week or early next week, we will be going to SMSS. So look out for us there. And what we do is during our recruitment process, we create a Google link which we can share with you so that you can register there. Also, you can fill out a form, but if you are really interested, you can just send us a message on social media.
Right. I think that is a really great initiative. A lot of parents are probably logged on because a lot of parents, the young people come on to my show, but a lot of older people are like they're always looking for stuff for their kids to do. I myself always looking for stuff for my children to do. And I think this is a really great initiative in terms of getting you all involved. Are there opportunities for professionals or volunteers outside of the age range to contribute to Project Discovery? All right.
Yes, they
yeah.
can be advisors.
Raquel was going to answer. We have.
Sorry.
All right.
As Bev
Mhm.
said, yes, you can join and be advisors, part of the advisory team.
Okay.
Also, you can attend Carry Fed as a chaperone if you feel free.
Okay. All
I
right.
remember
Addition-
What does that entail?
Project
What does that
Additionally,
entail?
additionally, if you are above the age range, you can always come in as a sponsor because sponsorship is always welcomed.
Okay. She making sure her coin, the bag is secure. Um, Making sure the coins are secured.
Project Discovery is like a family, guys. So once you join it, was a part of it doesn't mean because you get older, you're 26. That's it for you. No, you can still be a part of Project Discovery. We're always gonna be a family, and we help each other along the way. So
Okay.
it's needed.
Uh, Cameron, as we have you there, what are some of the future goals for Project Discovery Dominica?
Project Discovery Dominica. I want to do more things in person. We want to add a lot more programs. So we even our meetings we want to have at least if not every 2 months have one in person at least. So I always feel like it's better when we are face to face to get things done, and we can just lay down the plans and for the different programs that we want to get our name out there and make Project Discovery a name to be reckoned with in Dominica when we hear it like, oh, Project Discovery as a good organization.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that. I know you guys are still in the planning stages, but are there any projects or plans that you guys have coming up that you're excited about that you'd like to share with our audience this evening?
Again, carry fed, yes, because we're having it in summer, and again, it's gonna be in Barbados this year. So I would
Mm-hmm.
advise and parents, even your parents, the parents can come along as well with their child
Mm-hmm.
and go around Barbados like you have never done before and immerse yourself in the culture. And you know, it's a really good opportunity.
Uh, how does Project Discovery plan to expand its influence and programs, not just in Dominica, but even across the Caribbean? What are some of the plans you guys have? You talk about like Barbados, but do you have any other plans outside of the actual CariFed event?
Yes. Yes, for example, Project Discovery has other chapters in other Caribbean regions. We have chapters in Antigua and Barbuda, Barbados, and Kitts. So collaborations is one of the best ways to expand as an association. And by collaborating with other chapters, we can bring our outreach. So it's like they will know that there is Project Discovery in Dominica, not just by seeing us on social media, but let's say we did this virtual training and we did it for the entire Caribbean chapters. Or, for example, during CariFed, we might have come up with an idea that could take place in Barbados, but it involves every single chapter. So it's more of a collaboration thing because we have the internet now, so there are ways to connect with people even if you don't meet them in person.
General question for any of you, anybody who wants to take this. Why do you think it's important for young people in Dominica and the Caribbean to engage in community service and leadership development? Why do you think they need to be part of Project Discovery? That is your pitch right now. So you're going to be pitching now to people who are on why it's important to become part of your organization. Who wants to take that? I'm keeping it open for anybody who wants.
I'll start.
Okay,
So,
go ahead.
like I said, Project Discovery is centered on decompartmentalized learning. Growing up, people always focus on academics, academics, academics. And it's like if a child doesn't get a B average, people look at them like Timun Sasot. You understand? And I have come to realize that there is so much more to students than just their grades. Some children might not necessarily be good at academics, but they're good at public speaking somehow. They're good in auto mechanics. So Project Discovery creates a platform where young people can discover themselves and they can become more all-rounded individuals. It's about holistic development. We're trying to remove that focus solely on academics and teach people like there are other things that young people are really good at and they are just not given a chance or a platform to discover themselves.
And there are other ways that where young people can thrive and not just in academia. Beverly, you seem like you wanted to add something. Oh, Beverly, we lost Beverly for a second. So now, Cameron, we have you in the hot seat. You did you want to add anything?
Well, yeah, I just like to let me give a little more details on that. Like for example, like what you were saying is like just like our car fair that we had recently. We I remember we had the closing ceremony and the launching of Project Discovery around at the same time. So I mean, I had to go up as the president and give a speech. It was like giving speeches, but I had to do it. So they put me on the spot, and it was a good exposure for me and everybody else who had to do their part. Raquel as well had to come up on the mic and said something. So it was nerve wracking, but we did it. Again, it's hands on. So that's the whole idea.
Thank you. Gio, what message would you like to leave with our audience? Like, what would you like the audience to know about the organization or anything else that you didn't we didn't add that you think feel like it's important for people to know, even if it's just how it's changed your life or the impact it's had on you.
Well, what I have to say is that there is just so much more to life than just academics. Because growing up, I was an academic. I can say I was that child which they call the star student, good grades and stuff. But the only problem was I was very, very talkative, and my parents had an issue with that because it always came on my report card.
Ooh,
So Project
scenes fired.
Discovery, Project Discovery created an a platform where I can use my skills. It's like instead of just just talking, talking, talking. No, I can center myself on not just being good at public speaking, but no, I can learn about social media. I can learn about mass communication. So I just want people to know that there is so much more than just academics. You can really be good at something. You just need to find yourself. So join Project Discovery. You just might find yourself there.
You just might find yourself. Look at that she pitched. Yay, Raquel. How about you?
Okay, so what Gio said was right. Join Project Discovery, follow our Facebook page, follow our Instagram, contact us at 615-0200, and just make yourself a new member today.
Make yourself a new member today. Cameron.
See you there.
Okay.
Okay, Beverly. I want to give you the floor. I mean, I don't know if you they missed anything, if you missed anything. I know we discussed some of the plans. I know obviously some things are still in the planning stages, and not necessarily being able to roll out. But this is a major membership drive for you guys, where you want to encourage folks to come on board and be part of the organization, and that you're doing different drives at different schools. So look out for them. You can also join their Facebook pages and follow them and get more information. Um, Let me know why, from your perspective, why this is so important for young people to get on board. Why, how, and how do you feel like it's going to benefit them in the long run?
Okay, life is a bridge. You have an entrance and you have an exit. What connects the bridge is the planks. Whatever information you put on the planks on the bridge will determine how you exit. And Project Discovery provides young people with skills that connects the entrance to the exit. Without proper decision making skills, communication, networking, critical thinking, creativity, if you do not have these planks, you fall into a sea. And that sea is a sea of destruction, a sea of drugs. The grave is the richest place on earth because it is filled with many people who never discovered their talents. And this is what Project Discovery offers every young person. As an educator, over 30 years of experience, I have seen so many students who struggle to find themselves, struggle to navigate between the academics and the soft skills. And Project Discovery gives you already a CV straight from high school. That's what it does. It gives you a CV straight from high school. You listen to the young people, they talk about the skills, like leadership, they learn how to negotiate, they learn how to um, do. Raquel said she's a beast, she's a science, but she became a business major overnight because she had to learn to write projects, she had to learn to write reports. But it is competency based. That's what with Project Discovery. It's not an academic program. It provides you with competencies that can take you through life. And then, so I just want to encourage every young person, if you're out there as a parent and you are lead, you have heard it from the young people. This is what it has done for them in just a short space of time. Imagine listening to these young people next year. You would not even, I mean, if you have to look at these young people next year, like, wow, yes, all through Project Discovery. So let's wire you. Let's help you to be that person that you are destined to be. Be a better version of yourself. Join Project Discovery today.
Yeah, one of the things you mentioned was that you a lot of it does not have to be in person. So a lot of it is virtual, and I think that is very important. If folks did not catch that,
Yes.
so explain to us. Let's say what a month being on the Project Discovery would look like.
Okay. On the month, they would have the executive meeting. So the executive would meet virtually, they would plan the activities, and then they would have a membership meeting. So even the new members that have already submitted their registration form, they're
Mhm.
already scheduled to do their interviews online because they're from PSS, they're from Northeastern Comprehensive Secondary School. So
Okay.
when we go, they are supposed to listen because they have to listen, they have to answer questions, and they get a token. And the token is a bag which has the Project Discovery logo on it and the Maria Holler Memorial Fund logo on it. So this is something that they can take with them. So they need to listen to answer these questions. Once they are interviewed, being a member offers the opportunity to hold leadership position because the executive is not there for definite. Cameron is the president this year. He might not be the president next year. So it gives them the opportunity now to learn and to apply for executive positions, which will further develop their skills. So the online platform they'll have the virtual meeting as the executive, they'll have the virtual membership meetings, they're going to have the leadership training, and they can choose even to have social nights on the men. They could have game nights, they could have a movie. Let's look at a movie and talk about the movie. So they could also have social events on the virtual platform. So yes, I do agree that probably the executive can meet face to face, but because of our membership is so far, and Dominica is a distance, so it is much more effective, and parents will feel safer to know that their child is on the virtual platform, because we're talking about 14 and 15-year-old from Wesley. They come to a meeting in Tong. How are they going to get, unless the executive go up to Wesley? But what if we have 2 members in Northeastern and we have 5 members in PSS? So the virtual platform provides a safer environment, and it is more effective and efficient to
They're
have the
already
meetings
online
on.
anyways.
They're already online anyways. So that is basically the advantage of having it on the social, on the internet, on the net, on the online platform. Sorry.
Any final things, Raquel? I want to start with you. Final words for you, Raquel. Anything that we may have missed that you want to chime in on?
Miss Livland basically covered it all. What Project Discovery entails, how it can benefit you, and all this. So join, and I encourage you to join.
Thank you, um, Gio.
Well, I trying to grow our following. So if you are on Facebook right now, as soon as the live is over, go to our Facebook page, like, follow. It is the Instagram is also linked. Go on Instagram, send it for your daughter, your cousin, your parent, and follow, like, and share. And let's get Project Discovery Dominica going.
Wow, you need to come back on my show, Gio. I'm just letting you know that right off the bat. What I also encourage you guys to do is go ahead and type in the name of, like, go from the page and put it in the chat, and I will pin it so that folks will know how to find it. So if you go from the page, come on the platform on this interview, put a chat. I'll pin it right now so folks can find it without having to go searching for it. So thank you very much for sharing that, Gio. Cameron, final words.
Okay. Remember, guys, Project Discovery is 100% youth led. So take up the mantle. And if you don't spread your wings, you have no idea how far you can fly.
Thank you. We're very excited. Good job, George. We're very excited. Beverly, you're like an octopus. Your hands are in so many different things. I know you're part, like you're heavily involved with Achievement Learning Center. You also teach. Like, you're still teaching at the college, right?
Yes, I do.
How are you able to manage all of these things?
Um, they help me to manage all these things, because you know what? I
Themselves.
learned to delegate. And they only, if I realize that they are not stepping up, I just have to just send a little nudge. But helping people grow, people are my passion, Jael.
Hmm.
People, that's my passion. I love to see people grow. I don't like to see potential go to waste. And
Hmm.
as much as I do all these things, I have a team of people who I don't have to do it myself. I have the idea, and I just need some people to help me to grow it. And they help me to do it better, because they do what they need to do. And I know we are calling out to young people to join, but I also want to reach out. If you're out there and you're a sponsor, we are looking to send at least 3 young people to Barbados this year for CARIFET 2025. If you want to sponsor a young person, you can send us an email at projectdiscoverydom@gmail.com. You can call 615-0200. You can reach out to Jael, tell her, you know what, I listened to your show and I really want to sponsor for young people to go to Project Discovery 2025 in Barbados. I want him to have that experience. Let us know if you can sponsor, and we can invest in your young people. You will not regret it. I can tell you, if you invest in these young people, you will not regret it, because they have what it takes. We just need to create the environment for them to thrive, because we have to now prepare them to be the leaders that we want them to be.
Yes, definitely. I just want to go to the chat. A few folks have been sending comments. So we have Melody saying, "So proud of you, Cameron." That's Melody Hart. She's saying that. Um, Glenda, I think, was commenting on when you guys had to pitch. So Shark Tank vibes, she's saying. She's also saying, well said, Geo. Everybody calling you Geo now, eh? Your name, that's officially your Rihanna is saying, good job, Raquel and others. Shouting you guys out. Berdina is saying, great experience. So just commenting. And I just want to share here, you guys, this is the Project Discovery page, which is PDDOM. Follow on Facebook. They're also available on Instagram. The link is also connected in the chat. You can also tune in, or you can click on the chat after once we're done, or click on the link in the chat. That would lead you right back to all of the socials. I think that's it for us. That's it, guys. I hope a lot of folks, a lot of young people engage. A lot of parents are able to share this with their young folks and get them in. Like we want more wholesome people. I like what you all said. It's a holistic experience. I think Gio was the one who said it, and I think this is a great experience that every young person should
Yes.
get involved in. It just expand your mind, expand your knowledge, expand your understanding of what how many people you hear saying, "Oh, but I'm gonna when I do I'm taking algebra. How am I gonna use that in life?" Like I'm busting.
I know, right?
That was me. Eh? I was that person. How am I
Me
gonna use
too.
that in life? And I've not used it in life.
I
Okay,
am not used bearing up to
I have
this very present
never used
moment.
it in life. Right? In as much as I was like, oh, you will use it at one point. I have not used it. And I'm ready to retire. And I've not used it. Right. But it's a great initiative. I think every young person should go through Project Discovery. It should be almost like a coming of age program. You're coming of
What
age,
school does Jojo go to there?
SME.
So we need to do, and you need to link us up because that is our
Yeah,
one of schools. So
yeah,
you
the
need to
smartest
use
man
your
alive, they call it.
you need to use your
Smartest
influence
man
and let them
alive.
know that we need to come there. Okay, JL? So be our influence at SMA. Tell them we
I
coming to
I don't have
there.
influence at SME. Josh have more influence at SME than
Well,
me.
tell Jojo to get us in.
All right.
He might just be our youngest member.
Definitely, definitely. I'll let you know. He's 13, eh? He's 13. And
Yeah, we'll take him young. We'll mentor him.
lot of energy. Just go. Like put him somewhere. All right. But it was great having you guys on. And I hope everybody who came on, they shared the live so that another person will find get to know about it, get to know about Project Discovery Dominica, get their young people involved. I love the fact that you guys are virtual because it puts a very little pressure on anybody to
Yes,
commute,
yes,
as well as very little pressure to take time out of your schedule. All you need to do is just ensure that when you have monthly meetings, you are able to attend virtually and
yes,
contribute in whatever shape or form, and hopefully raise funds to take flights, to catch flights and not feelings. Go to Barbados
yes.
and to the next place. Right, Cameron?
That's right.
Right, Cameron, like that. I got your flight, not feelings.
Well, Raquel is already going because she won Carifed Channel 2024, so she already be going to
She's
Carifed
automatically going.
2025. Yes,
And I
she's
suspect
automatically, yes.
that Cameron is going to get a sponsor to take him there. I'm
Yeah,
I'm
Cameron need to win a challenge. That is he go once, he lose twice, he lose. The third time might be the champ. So
Good
sponsor
time
Cameron,
again, man.
guys.
I'll win. I'll win.
Oh yes, that's the second time.
Cameron is persistent. You're a good businessman, man. Keep
Yes,
trying.
I'll win.
yes.
I'll win. That's
Don't
right.
give Cameron no fear at you. All right. It was a pleasure having all of you here on with
Thank you
me,
so much, Jael.
and
Thank
and I
you. Always
hope
a
to hear
pleasure.
more about. You want to say something, Cameron?
No, I said thanks for having us.
Oh, you're most welcome. I hope to hear more about the program. I hope by next month you would have moved from 15 to at least 30 people. Double that.
That's the plan. That's the
That
plan.
you can double that. Of course, I know a lot of people are on there, and it doesn't have to be school initiated. It could just be people initiated. If you share it,
Yes.
share this in a chat with somebody especially if they have a little boy and they go, troublesome, and you have someone. They say, "Why, Mister so troublesome?" The boy
Get
doesn't
him
have
into Project Discovery.
he just need to discover. He might
He
just
just
be
needs to discover
the next
himself.
the next Picasso or the
Never
next man launch.
know.
You never know. You never know. You can discover yourself.
Never
Have a
know.
good night, guys.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.
That's it, guys. That's where we wrap up with the folks of Project Discovery. Great initiative. Want to encourage you if you've not shared the live, please share it with someone, share it with a loved one. Let somebody know that this is an awesome initiative and that folks need to get on board with it. They need to encourage their young people to get on board. Age 14 to 25. It's a nice range. Right? You can get your young people engaged in Project Discovery. I want to big up Beverly LeBlanc and the team at Project Discovery Dominica, as well as the regional organization for finding coming on the show or seeing it necessary to come on here and share the live and share the love and share information with each and every one of you. I'll be back tomorrow, guys. Tomorrow, I'll be back for another show. If you're not following yet, what you waiting for? Go ahead and make sure you follow my YouTube page. That is Jael Joseph. Subscribe to my YouTube page. As soon as you jump off, go ahead and subscribe. A lot of my shows are going to be moving there because Facebook is behaving irrational sometimes, and YouTube seems to be more creator driven, creator concerned. And there comes a time in people's life when you have to evaluate what making sense. And if it ain't make dollars, it ain't making sense. So I want to encourage you to go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube page, GL Joseph. Hit the subscribe button, turn on the notifications. As we continue the programs on here, you also get the information on YouTube as well. And you can always go back and watch. It's so easy to go back and watch on YouTube. You can go back and find any single show on YouTube. I'm saying good night and wishing you all of the best. And I will see you guys tomorrow, same time, same place, right here in Jael Joseph Life. I'm signing out. Good night. Bye bye.